Thank you for tuning in to the Doing Business with God podcast.
Hey, you. Yes, you. I am your host, Michi Renee.
It is Michi's passion to help you live your best life and do business God's way. Michi will be talking about entrepreneurship, manifestation, monetization, mindset, beliefs, starting and growing a business, nonprofit, or ministry, all while serving God. So welcome to My Daddy's Business. It's time for the show. It's the Doing Business with God podcast with your host, Michi Renee.
Hello, tribe. Welcome back to another episode of the Doing Business with God podcast, dedicated to helping you do business God's way. In this episode, I will be talking to Ms.Dawn Marcotte. She is a coach who helps other women coaches and consultants feel empowered. She teaches you how to spend more time on activities that you clients and less time on endless tasks that don't feed your soul or your bank account. She will be launching her new program called Road to Riches starting January 27th, which you can find on her website. We will link all information in the show notes. Dawn, welcome to the Doing Business with God podcast. How are you today?
I'm great. Thanks for having me. I'm so excited to be here. This is
great.
Thank
you so much for your time. And, we don't waste time here. We're just going to get right on into it. So, Dawn, tell us about your entrepreneurial journey, how long you've been in business, and how you got to the point that you are right now.
Well, I've had kind of an up and down ride. I actually started online in business as a freelance writer back in the early 2000s. I have always loved to write. And this was when people were saying, oh, the internet is new, build a website. People will come and throw money at you because you have a website, right? And so I thought, okay, I'll try anything once. So I slapped up a website and started writing. And as it turns out, I actually made a fairly good side income, but I still had my full-time corporate job because I just was not comfortable with the idea of being my own boss and totally depending on that income, that entrepreneurial income. So I actually stuck with my corporate job all the way through until June of this year when I got laid off due to COVID, which was very sad. But it made me realize after all of that time being a freelance writer and building websites and just doing a variety of different things online, because I just love that online space, that I have all of this knowledge and I can share it with people who are new to online business, because that's the other thing that's happening right now. Of course, a lot of people are getting laid off, losing their jobs, whatever, due to COVID, but a lot of them are then trying their hand at an online business. And I thought, that's hard. There's a lot of moving parts, and
yes,
I can really help people put puzzle pieces together so that they can become successful faster than I did, because it took me years before I was making any money at it, and would like to cut that timeline short for as many people as I can.
Yeah, I totally get that. I totally understand exactly what you're saying. Online business is not easy. I say that all the time. The problem, what you have to do is trust the process. You have to do the work. You're not going to magically get clients in 2 days. You've only been online 2 days. That's not how it works. And I think people have the microwave mentality and things are going to happen instantly.
Yep. I run into that a lot. That and the kind of the hustle mentality that if I work hard enough and do quote unquote the right thing, whatever that thing is, then I'm going to get clients and I'm going to make lots of money really, really fast. And that's not necessarily true. And the other part of that equation is figuring what is the right thing to do, because just because somebody's telling you they made $10,000 a month following this particular 6-step process doesn't mean that's going to work for you. You have to stay true and authentic to who you are as a person and who your values are to be successful. Otherwise, you're not going to sound authentic and you're not going to be successful.
Absolutely. I totally agree with you 100%. I just literally recorded a podcast episode talking about that very thing, that you have to be authentic. Your people need you. There's billions and billions of people on this planet, and they need you to show up and be authentic. So what makes you different than any other coach out there who's doing the same thing on the outset that you're doing? What makes you different in the marketplace?
Well, the thing I think that makes me so different is that I am a lifetime learner. There's all these different tests out there you can take about your personality, and you're an introvert or you're an extrovert or you can whatever. And one of them is the Strengths Finder. In doing that, I discovered that I have these very specific strengths in learning things and in building relationships with people. So what I am really good at is consolidating information from a bunch of different places and people, bringing it together and creating a coherent whole from it. So as an example, in September, I decided I needed to have my own Facebook group. And at that time, there were a bunch of different people doing those free trainings on Facebook. Hey, come and I will show you how to make or create and grow your Facebook group in 3 days. And of course, at the end, they all pitch at you, which is fine. That's a perfectly reasonable business model. But I learned something different in all of those different classes that I took. No one person really was able to provide me with a complete picture from start to finish. But by doing all of them, I was then able to, I actually wrote a book, how to do it. And I took all of that information along with what I learned just doing it myself and put it into a step-by-step, this is how you do it. And that's really where my skill sets lies and why I'm different from other coaches, because my philosophy is I need to take you or help you from where you are right now and understand, again, your values, your personality, your skill set, and then help you figure out what's going to work for you in your business, as opposed to telling you, oh, you should be doing this 6-step process over here and you're going to make $10,000 without knowing anything about you. That just doesn't work. That's not who I am. So I think I'm a little bit different because, again, I take a lot of information from a lot of different places and pull it together, but I really try to share the specific steps with people from where they're at right now, as opposed to just giving them something that's cookie cutter and say, here, try this, it'll probably work for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Cookie cutter makes my skin crawl. I hate cookie cutter. I have personally been in your group. I've personally read your book. The information is very helpful.